All right, folks. If you notice a couple extra bags under my eyes for the next, like, I don't know, 18 years plus of videos, it's because we just had a baby. Happy, healthy, everyone's sleeping, eating, pooping, doing all the good stuff. And what's interesting is that I so quickly realized how important it is to have knives that you don't have to be so careful with. Like, focus on the baby, taking care of the baby, not honing and making sure all your knives are dry. You got to wipe them down immediately, and you got to treat them literally like your firstborn. That's how some of these knives require care. For example, my Yoshikane, the Matsubara, and this Hatsuko Kuro Kirogane. I love these knives. I use them all the time. The problem is that they are not really good for rock chopping, torquing, scraping. They all need to be dried while using them. Definitely afterwards. They can't sit out. They've got high carbon steel cores. They will rust. I love them. But right now, I honestly don't miss using them because of the fact that I need knives that I can just not care about to a point. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 6 knives, maybe a little more, mainly 6 knives that I have been using over the last 3 weeks and 1 day since little Penelope joined us. And then I'm going to show you some others that I use intermittently, but would highly, highly recommend because they fall in the same category. So here's the deal. What are we looking for? We're looking for knives that are easy to maintain, as in you can leave these on the cutting board dirty for, like, I don't care, all day, all night. It doesn't matter. They're stainless steel. They have stainless steel cores or a stainless steel core with stainless steel cladding. They're not going to rust. They're going to be easy to clean. That's the first thing. Next thing, you need something that's going to either hold an edge so you don't have to worry about honing and stropping or anything like that, or something that is super, super easy to just bring back to life with a couple little swipes on your honing rod. So that would be the second thing. And the third thing is you want something that is inexpensive so that if you do, for whatever reason, in the middle of baby brain, which I can literally feel happening right now because I'm rambling a little too long in this intro, but in the middle of baby brain, if you just, like, I don't know, drop it or like put it in the garbage disposal or accidentally like put it in the dishwasher, like, the blade, it's going to be fine. The handle's going to be okay. Who cares? It's inexpensive. Not that these aren't good knives you can use in, like, comparison to really expensive knives, but we want to keep it cheap. So here we go. Let's dive into the knives that I have been using a lot. The very, very first one is going to be the Global G55. This is the 7-inch. Let me get a little turn there. There you go. This is the 7-inch version of their chef's knife. This is the G2. That is the 8-inch. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is the G55. So the 8-inch and the 7-inch. I have been using the 7-inch even before the baby came because it's the knife that my wife is allowed to use, that I don't care what she does with it. It's such an easy knife to use and to take care of because it's just like, I mean, it might as well be a butter knife. Seriously, it's a sharp butter knife. You can just do whatever you want with it and there's, like, no regrets. No regrets, not even one. So, what's the movie? I like throwing little movie things out there. What do we got here? This is essentially a mono steel appearing type of blade. This is welded, but it gives you the vibe that it is one piece of steel all throughout. This is Global's Chromova 18. I think all of their knives are made with it for the most part, at least in their classic line here. It's stainless steel coming in at that 58-ish Rockwell hardness. It is easy. It's just easy. When it gets a little bit dull, boom, 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 On a honing steel, you don't need anything fancy. The cheapest steel will do the trick and it brings it back to life. And I've been using this for, I want to say we've had this down in my kitchen block for like, oh God, 2, maybe 3 months, probably 2 months at this point, because she kept leaving my Yoshikane out. Anyway, love her. I don't care what she does with this. And it's really inexpensive. The handles of these are actually hollowed and filled with sand, so they've got a really nice just weight distribution to them, nice balance. Because of this flare into the handle, the pinch grip feels good anywhere. So like my wife who doesn't pinch up on the base of the blade, by pinching the base here at the handle, she's still getting a good amount of control. And again, it's easy. This is just a fantastic blade to be able to use for everyday prep. From there, I sometimes use this. I would say it's more her than me. The other knife that I have been using probably more than any of these would be the Tojiro DP. Let me turn this way. So it's funny because some blades have their logo and all the details on one side and some are on the other, but we're just gonna keep this consistent and I'll let my OCD just kind of chill. Next up is the Tojiro DP, or the Tojiro Classic. This is VG10 stainless steel, full tang. It's got a minimalistic bolster, a more Western style handle. This has more of a Gyuto type of shape at the tip of the blade. I have beat, not this one, you can see there's not a lot of scratches on this. Yeah, not a lot. You can see a little bit there, but the one that I have downstairs that I've been using, it's the exact same thing. It's just, this was the newer one that I had for some product videos. I have beat this knife to just hell and back and it holds up. What's nice about going from the 58 Rockwell to that, actually the global might be 56 to 58, I think is what they put that range in. This is a 60 to 61 Rockwell hardness with that VG10 stainless steel. What's awesome about it is that it's that perfect happy medium of it holds an edge much longer than the global, or quite a bit longer than say a Wusthof or a Zwilling or any of the main brand German knives that are out there that are coming in that 56 to 58 Rockwell as well. It'll hold an edge longer, but you can still get away with using this as like a bench scraper on your cutting board, scooping, pushing product out of the way. You can do the rock chop, you can mince, you can pivot. And if for whatever reason your blade does get to the point where it needs quite a bit of extra love, use a ceramic, put like 10 swipes on each side. It'll probably straighten it out decently. And then when you do need to sharpen it, it's really easy because it's VG10. It's not that SG2 Rockwell hardness of 63 and up where you just get into, you know, hard to sharpen type of knives. And considering this is stainless steel, it's still easier to sharpen than a lot of the Japanese knives that are out there. So the Tojiro, I'll be honest, this is hard for us to keep in stock. We'll always have these. This is hard because the second we get them, people buy them. So if you sign up for the email notifications, I believe they're out of stock when I'm filming this on May 1st, 2025. If you sign up for the email notification on there, do it. As soon as you see that, snag one. I think they're around like $115 without any discounts. So by the time you add sale prices or your first time customer 15% off code, it's a sub $100 knife, just as the G55. I've had more coffee in the past couple weeks than I have in my entire life. Next up, this is the Enso HD sandwich knife. And I never in a million years thought that I would use this knife. I've talked about it in just like a practical standpoint in some reels and other videos, but I've never really used it more than like once just to say that I did. This knife is a little freaking badass. This is why. VG10 stainless steel. So we just talked about that. But because this scalloped edge knife is designed for slicing and then sawing through some bread, real simple stuff. So mainly slicing and then scooping, like your peanut butter, your mayo, your Dijon, whatever you're scooping, Nutella. Ooh, oh, that sounds good. I'm gonna go get some today. Because this is VG10 and it's not used on a cutting board for mincing and rock chopping and tap chopping and all of that, this edge will last forever. Like, you will never have to sharpen or hone this knife. If you do, you're using a ton, and that's awesome. You're getting your money's worth. And if you ever need to get it professionally sharpened, do that, because it's a single bevel type of thing. So this, again, VG10, this has Damascus, great. Who cares at this point? You just need a good knife. This also has the little dimples on the side here, the sashimi finish. So that will help prevent product from sticking as long. It's not going to prevent cucumber slices and tomato and pickles from sticking. It's going to allow them to come off much more easily. Scooping. So you make a sandwich, okay? You grab your mayo, boop, boop, boop. And this is what I've been doing, turkey sandwiches with mayo for the lady. Scooping, boop, 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 boop. Smear to clean the bread, okay? Tomato, boop, boop, boom on there. Pickle, boop, 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 all slicing and scooping. And then, boop, bread on top. Slice, done. Easy, stainless steel. So when you walk away and you leave it on the cutting board, ooh, just spit a little. Leave it on the cutting board, 2 hours go by and you're like, oh crap, I didn't clean this knife. Who cares? It's gonna be totally fine. Banger of a blade. Next up, kind of more my department than my wife. This is the Miyabi Koya Utility. I love this blade because a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is because of the height at the heel here at the choil. This height for a utility knife allows me to do a tap chop without cramming my knuckles into the cutting board. And it also allows me to be able to cut some higher product while still having the height of the blade, creating some stability as you go through. So you'll notice it with, like, say, a slicing knife, like something thin like this. When you go to slice things that are taller, sometimes you find yourself on an angle, and it's just because you don't have the height in the blade to stabilize. Plus you have that length. It's a different, I know it's not much higher or shorter than this or whatever. Anyway, listen, I love this knife. It's easy to use. This is Miyabi's FC61 stainless steel, which is basically VG10. So it fits right into the category here. Stainless steel core, stainless steel cladding, easy to use, super lightweight. I've been using this. This is my Shun Honesuki prep knife, whatever you want to call it. I have been using this since culinary school. It's all beat up. Here, let me get a little angle. You can see that blade is, nope, doesn't want to show it. Anyway, I beat the crap out of this knife. I love it. I've had it for 12 or 13 years. Similar type of situation with the Koya here. You've got height at the heel, so you can use it as a tap chop. I'm not breaking down chickens, which is what the Honesuki was originally designed for, or Honesuki, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. This is just a great little blade. This is the VG Max stainless steel by Shun. Same thing as the FC61 and the VG10. It's at 60 to 61 Rockwell. You can beat the hell out of it and it's gonna hold up. It's easy to hone. If you need to get a little extra, ceramic, boop, 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 10 on each side or so, it'll help it, bring it back a little bit. And then when you need to sharpen it, it's easy. But here's the thing. Right now, I'm not sharpening it. Actually, no. That's a lie. I'm going to be sharpening some knives next week for a video that I have to do, but it's part of work. It's not part of, like, you know, my everyday life. I would not be sharpening any of these knives for a couple of months because they will hold up. I'll hone them. That's it. If one gets dull and I'm just dealing with baby stuff and not wanting to sharpen knives, I would just grab a different one. If you don't have a different one, here's the thing. They're easy to sharpen. That's it. That's it. Okay, last one. This is kind of the same type of ballpark as the others. This is the Wusthof Asian prep knife, which is basically the shape of a Honesuki as well, or a utility. And the benefit of this is, well, it's very small, it's very light. My wife loves this one and this one. These two are like her go-tos. I've been using more of the ones in the middle here. And what's great about this is, again, that Wusthof stainless steel 56 to 58 Rockwell, super easy to hone, easy to sharpen. You can beat the hell out of this. And here's the deal, folks. Any one of these, okay? Would I recommend putting them in the dishwasher? Absolutely not. If you did it, is your 100-ish or sub $100 investment going to suffer? No, it'll be fine. You've got pack-a-wood or the palm, whatever handles that they're using, these polyethyl methylene type of handle. I think that's what the Tojiro and maybe that's Zwilling, I don't know. They're like near indestructible. Pack-a-wood and micarta, stainless steel, or some other engineered material for these two, they're gonna be fine. Don't put them in the dishwasher, but if you do, like, you'll be all right, I'm telling you. Okay, so these have been my go-to. Now, if I only had to pick two, only two, that right there, this Tojiro and this Shun, unstoppable. I mean, you could be a freaking master chef and those two knives will suit you for like nearly everything, to be honest with you, just because the size, the shape, the versatility, the blade performance, etc. But they're just easy, okay? So you don't need a million knives on every other, normal Wednesday. Today's Thursday. You don't need a ton of knives. Two knives you can like rule the world with. I obviously have a problem here. This is also what I do for a living, so there's that. But that's what I've been using on the reg. Here we go. Here are some next up in line / runner-up knives that I've either been using because they've been downstairs, or I just brought them down, now I'm back up again, or they're ones that I would highly recommend as an alternative. First, this is the Tojiro Utility. You can see I have used and abused this one. That's got some scrapes from putting it on the stainless steel bar. Ooh, that looks real bad, doesn't it? There we go, that's a little bit better. Anyway, fantastic. I already talked about this Tojiro, so if you wanted the set, there you have it. You're good to go if you can get this one in stock. Yeah, fantastic blade. Next up, this is the Rocking Santoku by Zwilling. This is a badass little blade because it's kind of like a bunka. Like if you were to look at this, like this is a Hatsuko Kuro Kirogane bunka. I mean, that's a bunka shape. They call it a Rocking Santoku. You can call it a K-tip Santoku. You can just call it a little itty bitty prep knife that is awesome because it's stainless. You don't have to take care of it that much, and you got that low 56 to 58 Rockwell. So it's easy to hone, maintain, and sharpen. Awesome, awesome little blade. Next up, this is the Enso HD Chef's Utility and Prep or Kobunka. These blades are fantastic. I use them intermittently as I circulate through knives downstairs on my knife block, a little spinny thing. And I have been since I started doing work cutlery more, which actually, today's May 1st. It's been a year. It's officially been 1 year since I started doing work with them. How cool is that? I'm doing a video. Super. Micarta handle. You've got a full tang type of feel, okay? Even though it's not exposed, it's weighted in the handle. Stainless steel end cap, triple riveted. You've got the 8-inch chefs, the 6-inch utility, and the 5.5-inch Kobunka, or what we just call a prep knife. As I said before, the two that you can just do everything with, a chef's and a utility. A chef's and this prep, or chef's and utility. It really just depends on what you're cooking a lot. This little prep knife though, because of the size, the shape, the height, again, you could have one knife in your kitchen and do nearly everything when you're in this busy parent type of just had a baby, or maybe you've got 13 little kids running around, you're just living in chaos, you need one little thing to be able to do as much as you possibly can with. It would be this blade. VG10 stainless steel, easy to take care of. I have already mentioned that. I won't beat that horse any further. Fantastic, and all of these are around that 100 or sub 100 mark. In fact, we've been having the 8-inch chefs on sale for like 99 bucks, from 150 I think to 99 for months now. Enso we created 10 years ago. Not me, I wasn't there. 10 years ago, Michael, the owner, created Enso. They are manufactured by Yaxell. Fantastic manufacturing facility. This is our exclusive in-house brand. And you know what? Someone the other day in a comment was like, you know, I notice you talk about Enso a lot. What are you pushing this? Is this your in-house brand? Yeah, it's our in-house brand. We've got several in-house brands, and we have exclusive lines that we have with a bunch of different makers. I don't care if you buy the Enso, buy something else. We don't care. That's why we're a retailer. Like, find a knife that speaks to you. We have no problem pushing, as people have said, these blades because how they perform. These Enso, even though you may not have heard of them, will go right up against Shun, Miyabi, Global, Wusthof, Tojiro, any of them. Blindfold, hand you one of these, any of those, you're gonna be like, they're phenomenal, all of them. So, there's my little rant. Okay, next up, speaking of Yaxell, this is the Yaxell Hana. This is their 8-inch chefs, their 6-inch utility, and this is their Santoku, which has very similar like Kobunka, Honesuki type of shape and vibe to it. These are made with, they call it Movax or Mo something. I can't remember all these steel. It's stainless steel and it's a 58 Rockwell, but it has the geometry of a Miyabi or one of the Ensos here. Yes, this is your stamped knives, whatever. The way that they're ground, they have a beautiful geometry to them. So you feel like you're using, when you slice into something, a really high-end Japanese knife. Not really high-end. I'm not gonna like oversell it here. You feel like you're using a Miyabi, a Shun, Japanese knife, the way it flows through product. But unlike the Global, which has decent geometry, these are a little bit finer. So you get the benefit of that lower Rockwell stainless steel, but the feel when you're going into product of a finer geometry type of blade. I would compare it, of all of these, I would compare it to the Miyabi type of feel and flow, and the Enso as well, but it's just different because it is a stamped knife. But like the chef's knife, I think is like, can you hear the baby crying? I can. I've got that voice cancellation or noise cancellation, voice isolation thing happening right now, which I always have anyway because the AC kicking on. Anyway, so back to these. They're great. And I think the chef's knife itself is only like, hold on, I had it up here earlier. I think it's 70 bucks. Okay, $95, and it goes on sale, just so you know. And you can even get a sheath for it. All these, they're gonna be that sub 90. Pack a wood handle, stainless steel, easy to sharpen. Boom. All right, next up, I'm just gonna wrap this up because I can tell my wife is gonna need some assistance. This, I already showed you, this is the 8-inch version of this. So this is the G2, their most popular. And then this is their fluted Asian cook's knife, I think is what Global technically calls it, the G83. Think of this as a rocking Santoku-esque type of thing, like the Zwilling I showed you, hollows on the edge. It's a chef's knife. It's a K-tip. It's got hollows. It's easy. And with this compared to the others, you get a bit more of a curvature in the blade. So if you're a huge fan of that rock chop, this could be good. You get a different feel in the handle as well, just because of that angle right here at the pinch grip. You'll feel it. Not good or bad, just different. And then you of course get those hollows. So just another beater of a knife. And then the last one, because the baby's really screaming now. This is the Nexus. This one I'll show you up on here. This is the Nexus, which is one of our in-house brands. We designed a bunch of steak knives for the Nexus and then created this guy as well. Totally random squirrel here for a moment, but just to show you, oh God, my back. Oh man, she is screaming like crazy. We have all these Nexus steak knives that, here, I'll put that in front of there. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, it started with that. And then for whatever reason, this came to be, this Chinese cleaver. And this is a badass little blade. This is stainless steel. And I think the full price of this is 69 bucks, like regular wood barrel handle. If you like Chinese cleavers and that's your go-to type of thing, but you don't want to be worrying about a carbon steel CCK or a $600 Sugimoto that's also carbon steel, even the carbon steel Senton, I think that's carbon steel. I can't remember. Get it. It's just a great beater knife. Seriously, beat the crap out of it. All these you can beat the crap out of. You're not going to lose sleep at night because they're inexpensive. They are easy to maintain. They will hold an edge or they will quickly come back to having an edge. And for my first video back since the baby, I think I'm done. Okay, that's it. Yeah. She quieted down, but I still need to go help. I'm Chef Brandon with Cutlery More. Thanks for tuning in. For all you busy parents out there or new parents like myself, good luck. Thanks for your service. These are the knives that I would recommend to make your life a little bit easier, because a little bit goes a long way when you got your hands full. That's for sure. Take care.